Marketing is one of those activities that you kind of have to do, but if you don't understand the why behind what you're doing, you're really not going to get anywhere. In this video, I'm going to cover the purpose behind marketing itself. If that sounds good to you, let's get into it. So, every great marketing system has the same job. The first step is to create awareness and make someone realize that a problem or desire exists. The next step is to build trust. So we want to show credibility, authority, and empathy. Empathy meaning, hey, we understand what you're going through because we understand the problem ourselves. Next, drive action. So we want to turn that trust into an objective outcome, a measurable outcome, right? Sales, signups, referrals. And then lastly, we want to sustain that connection. We want to nurture long-term loyalty because we have solved your problem and created value for you. You could think of marketing as a sequence of transformations. So the first stage is awareness. Your goal here is to convince your potential client that the issues that they experience in life are directly attributable to the problems that you solve. You're essentially saying, hey, this negative experience that you're having in life, whether it's in your business and health or in your relationships, is directly attributable or is caused by this problem. And because you're shedding light on the problem, you're inadvertently explaining why what you do matters. So, to understand this part, you have to realize that you are experiencing problems in your life that you're simply unaware of. And you're unaware of them because they have not yet been articulated. So, take for instance germ theory. Before we had germ theory, we had no clue that microscopic organisms were running around here getting us sick. Now, germs are well understood. We know what they are, we know what they do. Now think about the company Lysol. What does Lysol kill? They kill germs. Their entire value proposition is based upon the assumption that you know what a germ is. If you didn't know what a germ is, their value prop wouldn't make sense. So at the first stage, you are effectively defining the problem for your client or your potential prospect, and you're capturing it for them. You're giving it a name, you're giving it a label, and you're showing them, hey, this is what has been affecting you. And then once you do this, they begin to understand why what you do matters. The next stage is consideration. So we're aware of the problem at this point. To continue with our example, we are aware that germs exist. Now what? Well, now we begin to seek options. We begin to look for the most credible, the most legitimate option that's going to solve our problem. Once the client deems you credible, we then move over to conversion. So they like what you do and they're actually ready to purchase and they buy from you because they believe that you can solve their problem. Now, after they have bought from you, we then move over to retention, right? We want to keep that client. We want to continue serving them. We want to continue working for them. So what we're talking about here is the ladder of awareness. And this ladder was adapted by a man named Eugene Schwartz. You could look up his work online. But this essentially describes the 5 psychological stages that people go through before they make a purchasing decision. Now, the 5 stages are as follows: unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. And we're trying to get people into this most aware category through our marketing efforts. So the first stage is unaware, and I spoke about this in the previous section. So let's use our Lysol example to really illuminate this idea. At this stage, your client doesn't even know that they have a problem. They don't know what germs are. As marketers at this stage, we need to spark curiosity. We need to explain what germs are or what the issue is, and we need to detail how this problem is affecting their lives. After you have explained to the client what the problem is and how it is affecting their lives, we now move on to problem aware. So the client is feeling pain, but they don't know the solution. They're getting sick from these germs, but they don't know what to do about it. As marketers, our goal at this point is to shed light on the pain. We want to show them that if they do not solve this problem, they're going to continue to experience this issue and their life is not going to get better. And this is not manipulation. We're actually trying to solve the problem for them. We showed them the issue, and now we're telling them that, hey, if you don't use this solution, whether it's my solution or another solution in the market, you're going to continue to experience this issue and your quality of life is not going to improve. This maneuver takes our client over to solution aware. So now they begin asking the question, what's the best way to solve this? Our goal here is to educate them on the best method to use in order to solve their problem. And as you're doing this, you're inadvertently positioning yourself as the authority on the topic. This makes you look credible, and this makes them more likely to go to you for the solution. Next is the product aware stage. At this point, we want to answer the question, why should you choose me? At this point, we want to build trust. We want to show them how we have helped people solve the same problem in the past using testimonials and other forms of social proof. And we want our client ultimately to know our solution. And then after our client knows our solution, they are in the category of most aware. They're ready to act, they're ready to be sold. And when I say sold, I mean that your client is ready to work with you. So at this point, it's important to make it really easy to buy. So, in summation, your marketing strategy should take into consideration your audience's level of awareness according to these 5 stages. And your goal as a marketer is to bridge the gap between these disparate stages and to progressively bring them up the ladder, all the way to most aware. Alrighty, gang, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you like this kind of stuff, definitely check out Compound School. This is a 90-day program designed to take you from where you are today to your first paying customer for your online business. Please like, please subscribe, and stay tuned.